Welcome back, everyone, for this week's episode of our Smoky Mountain Wrestling podcast. This is Smoky Mountain Wrestling episode number 63 that aired on April the 10th of 1993. We're in the same location, but this is, of course, a bit of a different episode because, as you heard last week, this is the Bluegrass Brawl highlight episode where we're going to go through most of the results, or the major results of the Bluegrass Brawl that was on April the 2nd of 1990. April the 2nd of 93. What am I saying? Almost said April the 10th again. April the 2nd. So the Brawl was on the 2nd. It aired, or the major highlights aired on the 10th. Before we even get into the episode, I just want to say I talked to Doc offline about this, and I had people messaging me saying, "Hey, are you going to cover the Brawl?" The reason we do the recap episodes like this is because we got to do the TV episodes because they go along with the show. And to be honest with you, I think in covering it with the TV the way Jim did it back then, I think works just as well as if we were to cover the entire Brawl. So here it is, the Bluegrass Brawl, 1993. That said, Harper, how you doing this morning, man?
Doing all right, bro. Ready to get some fucking Bluegrass Brawl fucking action going.
That's right, damn it, that's right. Doc, what about you?
Yahtzee! Doc's got some Pop-Tarts on. It's a 2 Pop-Tart show because we got a big event, pal. Let's get the fuck into it.
I wonder if the Docaholics like Pop-Tarts.
Oh, I bet they do.
So.
I bet they do, man. They like pussy and Pop-Tarts. That's what we like.
Okay,
That's nice.
I don't know if old lady Spencer likes pussy and Pop-Tarts.
Well, she's probably got dust coming out of hers, so...
The visual of you saying her blowing dust out of her crotch, it's just a bad one.
What?
Okay, that's when he said that a couple episodes ago. All right, let's get into this. So, off top, man, we got Dutch and Bob. Dutch has a sign. It says Dutch Mantel Genius or Misunderstood. Bob asked Dutch what was on the signs, but Dutch said nothing you'd be interested in. However, I think when the signs fell on the ground, they fell upright where Bob could see them. Because if you watch it back, Bob Caudle looks down and he's laughing. And it looks like he's reading the signs that are on the ground. So that was one of the things I caught in the very beginning. And not only are we going to talk Bluegrass Brawl, but we'll also see a match between Bobby Eaton and Tom Pritchard for the Beat the Champ TV title. Remember, that was one of the things that took place in last week's episode. Now, at this point, Bob Caudle throws us to the opening of the Bluegrass Brawl with Les Thatcher and the great Lance Russell, R.I.P. Lance Russell, who we're recording this on October the 6th, 2017. He passed away a couple of days ago from now. So, but Doc, do you have anything from the opening of the show with Dutch and Bob with the signs?
No, not with the signs, but even before we get to Thatcher and Russell, these motherfuckers were singing whatever their state song is. I was like, Jesus, even the state song is a beat down.
That's what they were doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it was
Doc, that's classy.
It was just sounded like a tale of just breathing coal and being poor. I was like, God, this thing's depressing.
All right,
Who knows the words to their fucking state song?
The eyes of Texas are upon
Jesus,
you.
Fucking Nazi.
I don't know the words of no state songs. I'm sorry, and I'm proud to be an American. So sorry, I couldn't tell you. Okay, Harper, anything from the opening with Dutch and Bob with the signs or anything?
The only thing I noticed was when he dropped the sign, you can see that he takes the old signs for the show, and he fucking writes on the back of them.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
can't waste anything, bro.
Right.
Okay, so the first thing they do here, I'm not going to play this soundbite. I'm going to play the one where Lance introduces the match with Primetime Brian Lee. But first, Lance and Les Thatcher, they walk us through the entire card for the Brawl. We all know what that is at this point, so I wasn't going to waste too much time on that. Doc, you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, same with you, Harper?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so then, but Lance and Les, they then introduce the Primetime Brian Lee roll of the dice. So let's listen to that right here.
Okay. Well, Lance, the roll of the dice is going to determine the type of match that goes on between Kevin Sullivan and Primetime Brian Lee.
Yes.
You were there.
As a matter of fact, it looked like everything was against Brian Lee Let's take a look at the roll of the dice, Les, and see how Lady Luck determined the outcome. Okay, fine, it's time, and here he goes. Let's see how his luck goes. With things apparently stacked, he rolls the dice out, and the big number is 6. Here's Brian Lee. Are you going to give us a selection of the match right now? It's your choice, any one of them.
I'll tell you what, Lance, Pikeville, Kentucky, I want the same match. I want the Singapore Spike match, just like Knoxville, Tennessee. Kevin Sullivan, I'm going to kick your ass right here in the Bluegrass Brawl.
And only one of them has that spike in it. And if the guy guesses wrong, his next move may be his last.
Okay, so I wanted to play that because there's a couple of reasons. One, they roll the dice and notice the camera never shows what comes up on the dice. That's the first thing.
That's my notes. I want to see those fucking dice.
Yeah, my note was, what are the actual odds that was a 6?
Yeah.
I'm
going to say the odds were 1 in 6, not 100%.
Right. So that was the first thing. They show that in, I don't know, man, it's just cool to hear Lance Russell, man. Rest in peace, Lance. God, it's he lived 91 years, but still, man, he was the iconic voice of wrestling in Memphis for so long. But it was good to see Lance on this one. So, okay, Doc, what else did you have from that?
Are we just the open, or are we now into the match?
Well, let me do the match. So, I'll get into the match, and then I want y'all to chime in. Singapore Spike match wins. I mean, it's not really a wrestling match at all from the start. If you want to see a bunch of spots, I don't know what to tell you. This ain't your match. This is the culmination of a feud that started, Jesus Christ, this is episode 63. This started in the 20s, if you really want to think back to it. So, I mean, we're talking 7 months of a feud. Is that about right, Doc Harper?
About that, yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, this is insane. You think back to how long ago this thing started. So, but anyway, it's a culmination of a feud that started a very long time ago when Primetime Brian Lee first started getting stalked. Now, Night Stalker and Horn are at ringside handcuffed to the corner post. I don't know the best way to describe this finish. I mean, Mark Curtis gets bumped. Night Stalker has the spike, even though he's handcuffed at the corner post. Sullivan gets the spike, but then drops it or something. The spike is then picked up by Night Stalker. Primetime Brian Lee then comes behind Stalker and rolls Sullivan up for the win. Doc, did that sound about right? How it went? It's really hard to describe, without seeing.
Did you get at the part where Sullivan was applying a set of pliers to PBL's nuts?
Yeah, what was he doing with those fucking pliers? Because I kept trying to, does it got his hand? Is it on his balls?
I don't know, but after he fucking tried to slice off Cantermore's arm, I'd be a little nervous if I was Primetime Brian Lee.
Okay, if we're going to be real about this, having pliers on somebody's nuts is the equivalent of Abyss hitting someone with Janice. I mean, or Triple H hitting someone with a sledgehammer. Let's be real. If I took a plier to another man's nuts, I would do some very, very bad damage. Let's be real here. So that's a good point, Harper. What was he doing? Can you imagine, Harper, somebody applying some fucking pliers to your nuts?
Suck it off, man. Fucking walk that shit off.
Walk it off my ass. Okay, Doc, what other thoughts did you have from the match?
Man, there was tables and chairs and bell ringers and just, it went about like I expected, but you can always count on Sullivan to bring the thunder, man. He's just... we're a little bit before the golden age, or after, the golden age of the Sheik. So I imagine him to be a good Caucasian approximate of what seeing the Sheik might have been like. I did get tired of seeing Sullivan's ass as he kept getting pulled down off the top rope.
Yeah.
That was about what I thought. I mean, you had to have Primetime Brian Lee finally get his comeuppance here, or it just wouldn't work. And then you have the Night Stalker and Sullivan break up.
Yeah. Harper, you have anything else from the match?
I just thought, oh well, I guess this is the end of their fucking relationship.
Yeah, I mean it had to be. So what we're talking about here, everyone, is Stalker is attacked by Sullivan, and then remember Night Stalker is still chained or handcuffed to the post. So Stalker finally gets free, and then he goes after Sullivan once Night Stalker is freed from the handcuffs. So, and Sullivan retreats to the back. So it kind of leads into, I guess, where we're going next. But you all are right. It was time for this to end. I mean, we're probably, I'm saying 7 months. It's at least 6 months into this feud.
Yeah.
It was time for a new direction. And in all honesty, I mean, they pretty much did it right. The babyface got pretty much murdered the entire time until the very end, if you ask me. Doc, would you agree or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he got his ass handed to him for the most part. Okay, so after the match, though, is Night Stalker cuts a promo, and it's a short one. I'm going to play it. Here it is.
Kevin Sullivan, you used to be my master, but that is no more. See, you promised me the streets of gold, Kevin Sullivan. None of it came true. What happened? I was there for the feeding frenzies, the bloodbaths, anything you needed to be done. I was your right-hand man. I was always there for you. And what'd you do? You turned your back on me. That was the biggest mistake you made in your life when you put your hands on me and slapped me in the face. You just got to remember, your servant can also be your master, Kevin Sullivan. Just remember, I am the Night Stalker, 6'8", 310 pounds. I am hungry, and I will be fed at your expense.
Doc, thoughts?
I think maybe now the Night Stalker and Primetime Brian Lee should form a big, slow, Southern talking tag team.
You trying to be funny or something here?
No, that's all I got. I didn't have much there. I'm not real interested now. The Night Stalker lost all of his value to me.
Okay. Harper, what about you? Anything?
Yeah, he's not the Night Stalker anymore. He's just a big pissed off redneck now.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know what else you can say about him at this point. So, I actually thought the promo wasn't, like, terrible because, again, I'll go back to what Cornette said. The guy is, like, really, really young in the business at this point. And I thought, just from that perspective, he did okay. But it is what it was. I mean, it was fine. But you're right. It's different when he was a Night Stalker versus, as Kevin Sullivan's right-hand man versus now on his own. So, I guess we'll see what happens from here on out. After that, I'm going to save it. There is a local promo by the Dirty White Boy, and I'm saving it because you need to hear it at the end, okay?
Right,
that's all we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
You good with that, Doc?
Yeah, that was kind of a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it fucking ruined the match. I was like, wow, you motherfuckers.
That was a little bit of a
like,
problem.
that big-headed goof just gave it all away.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, let's listen to Lance Russell and Les Thatcher introduce the chain match between Tracy Smothers and the Dirty White Boy. They're going to do that right here.
Well, the master of the Tennessee chain match, Ron Wright, has passed the chain on to his protege, the Dirty White Boy. And for the first time in 15 years, there's going to be a Tennessee chain match, and it's going to be for the Smoky Mountain Heavyweight title.
Seemed doubtful whether Tracy Smothers should take it up. Ron Wright, with all the experience, he's taught all that he knows to the Dirty White Boy. But when they threw the challenge down, chain match Tracy, how about it? He didn't back up a step. He said, let her rip. Let's join the action right now.
Okay, so you heard Lance and Les introduce it. Here's the thing with this match. Tracy comes out. He's waving the match. People are going nuts when Tracy's introduced. Lance reminds us that the only way to win the match is for you to touch every corner without your opponent scoring in any type of offensive blow, which is very much key to how this thing ends. They fast forward into the match, and Tracy Smothers has hit a gusher. We then see Dirty White Boy hang Tracy by the top rope. From the chain. This is wrestling. This is how it's done back then. But Tracy gets Dirty White Boy back and busts Dirty White Boy open to make it even. It wouldn't be a great match without Ron Wright being involved at one point when Tracy's trying to get the win. In my opinion, the finish of this thing was very, very well done. People go nuts. Dirty White Boy, he's lugging Tracy around the ring. Dirty White Boy hits each corner. Tracy does also as Dirty White Boy does, and Dirty White Boy, before going to Post number 4, flips Tracy over his back, which Tracy falls into the corner and touches it, and the fans lose their absolute shit. Harper, what did you think about all of this?
I love the finish.
Me too. I thought it was
The finish
great.
was great.
I thought the freaking finish was money. I really did. I love the way this thing finished. It was fabulous the way it was done.
And the crowd loved it.
They sure did. They sure did, man. They did. It really, really was done. It was done so well. So well.
Yeah.
Doc, what did you have?
Man, Dirty White Boy will hang a motherfucker, won't he?
Oh, he sure the fuck will. He ain't got no care about that.
But I liked how Smothers got out of it, man. He flipped himself back over. That was nifty. I
thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, question for all you flatback bumpers out there. Back in the day when we just didn't give a shit about things, it's still, and I thought this shit was real. I don't care how real it is. It still was always gross to me that you would bite another man's bloody head. You ever done anything like that, Menace?
I mean, yes, but I didn't actually put my mouth on their blood and bite their head. I mean, I made it look like I did, but no, not like I didn't actually like take my mouth and put it on their blood. Fuck that.
Yeah. It's just it's gross. So
yeah, it's just a little bit.
And then, with the finish, you guys hit it. But the thing I thought was interesting about the finish is, so Smothers has taken all this time to say, last week it was, if you make fun of me, these people, you're making fun of me. He's one of them. And he's positioned himself so greatly as one of them, a man of the people. And that finish, it's not like a roll-up or a schoolboy or something where it's quick. The finish took a few minutes. And it was like him and the people were in on something that Dirty White Boy wasn't. So they were getting more and more excited together as this thing built.
Yep.
So I thought that's what was great about it is that it was the perfect finish for the perfect guy.
It was perfect.
They had the crowd had like 2 minutes to like invest themselves into a finish. Our guy's going to win instead of it just coming out of nowhere and being a 3-second build to it.
Yeah, because he outsmarted. That was the thing. As a babyface, he outsmarted the heel.
Which means the people got to feel like they did. Interesting concept to bring the people along for a ride.
I agree. This is really good stuff. Hey, let's listen to Lance Russell. Actually, he's recapping it right here. I think I got the soundbite. Hold on.
Wouldn't give you a plug nickel. His back was facing the post. The White Boy was closer to it. And Tracy Smothers rolls back up over the White Boy, came up and tagged that fourth one before the White Boy could get to it. We have a new Smoky Mountain Wrestling Champion.
All right, so that was that. I wanted to play that real quick. Just getting Lance Russell at the very end. Now, go ahead, Doc.
And real quickly, we talked just a minute ago about Sullivan and Primetime. But this is our first new champ in 8-9 months?
He won the belt. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about, was it around episode 26 maybe?
Hold on, I'm looking it up.
Dude, he won the belt a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
It's about 8-9 months. Go ahead, look it up, and I'm right now. What? I was going to play Tracy's promo after that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, cool. So this is Tracy Smothers right after winning the belt, being interviewed by Lance Russell, and then we'll figure out how long of a reign Dirty White Boy had.
It's a lousy time. I want you to get back and get a shower. I got to tell you, Tracy, I want you to share with everybody the joy of winning that championship in one of the greatest matches I have ever seen.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. I'm just, it's the greatest moment of my life. I can't believe it. I've been in sport 9 years, and this is the best thing that ever happened. I talked about climbing that mountain, and I talked about changing my path, and that I wasn't raised like they saw for the last year and a half, and I talked about going down that road
down the asphalt, when you run off in the mud, you don't have many riders with you. I think I got a lot of riders now. White boy, I told him, I said he's going to have to kill me to beat me, and he darn near did. But, man, by the good grace of God and the support of the fans, just a little bit of lady luck, I'm the new Smoky Mountain Heavyweight Champion. It's hard to keep my composure here.
And the fact that you wouldn't quit, you would not quit.
God, and that's the toughest match I've ever had in my life. I've never, ever... Huh?
Hey, what are you doing in here?
Get the hell away!
You got... What you got
there, like your Smoky Mountain Heavyweight Champion! Get up, pup! There will be more chain matches!
Get this guy out of here!
Come on, get out of here! Get the hell away!
Lance Russell, get this guy out of here. Okay, Doc, so that was a good promo. Do you have the time that White Boy had the belt?
Yes, and it is and will be the longest reign in the run of Smoky Mountain at 237 days.
Woo.
So right about 8 months, if rough math.
Woo!
It feels longer than that.
It was a long. That's a long time. Damn, that's a long time. Damn. All right. Okay. Promo wise, Harper, thoughts on the promo from Tracy right there?
I didn't expect Dirty White Boy to come in because normally, when a face wins the belt, he's, there's a celebration, and the other faces come in and spray the fucking
champagne.
You get champagne all over him like you won the World Series and all of that. And this time I was like, nope. I want to come hit you in the fucking head with a board to get my damn belt back.
Yep. Nailed it. Doc, what about from you? Anything?
That paneling in the background, I thought maybe they were shooting this in the principal's office or something. Since they
that fucking shitty wood.
Yeah, that's like that brand should be called the Kid Toucher Special, man. It looks like a setting for some.
God, I hated that shit back in the day.
Trying to reach your hand down get to a little boy's booty or something, man. Leave the kids alone, dude. So you get the feeling this is our second main event of the night. The first one, you got the feeling that was a blow off between Primetime and Sullivan. This ain't over. So, I mean, again, this one's going to keep going, but it was certainly a good, awesome, entertaining, milestone in the feud. And so this will continue on into the future. And then I had a side thought here that got me thinking. I was sitting there and I was halfway through this and I was like, I started adding some things up. And I have a thought I'm going to throw out here and let you guys agree with or disagree with. Mm-hmm. Smoky Mountain Wrestling, in the history of professional wrestling, puts together the greatest collection of announcers in the history of any federation ever.
That sounds about right.
Caudle.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Caudle. Now Lance Russell is an alumni.
And then,
JR, I don't mean to give this away, but at some point JR's coming in. Dutch, right. Thatcher. I mean, unless we're going to go dig up Gordon Soley and have him do some commentary here.
No,
he was still alive, but doesn't do it.
Yeah, you're right.
The best.
Yeah, no. You're right.
This was
yeah.
It was like scoreboard. It was like we have a great card. We brought in Arn Anderson, and there's stars up and down this card, and just because we can, here comes Lance fucking Russell.
Pretty much. Because, I mean, rest in peace, Lance, but he's my number one of all time for me. I mean, he just is the way he could carry a wrestling show on his own, a TV show on its own. I mean, he was just that good. So I agree. Yeah, you're right. They had Lance, they had Les, they had JR. It's kind of spoiling it, but whatever. I mean, people know now by now. They had, look, Bob Cowler from the beginning, and Dutch Mantell is one of the, to me, for people who are not familiar with Smoky Mountain, one of the most underrated color commentators ever in the history of wrestling. If you don't know Smoky Mountain,
he's doing a Southern Bobby Heenan, which is good.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yep. I'm with you. Okay, so let's move on now. This is I'm gonna throw it to Lance Russell and Les Thatcher now introducing the next match, which is the 3-team. I'll just call it all out brawl tag. 3-team, 3-member tag match, or not even tag match, just a brawl. Here it is.
Lance, the tag team situation in Smoky Mountain Wrestling has been out of control for months. We've got the Stud Stable.
Yes.
We've got the Heavenly Bodies.
Yes.
The Rock and Roll Express. All quality wrestlers. They all three believe themselves to be the top team. So here we are in Pikeville, Kentucky. Commissioner Bob Armstrong has brought it here in a very unique type of match.
Very unique, and it's the first time that it's ever been held. Now, the Stud Stable with Golden Fuller and Mantell set. The Heavenly Bodies added Bobby Eaton in there, who's an old-time partner of Stan Lane, and that adds a great element in it, Hood. And then the Rock and Roll. These teams battled each other. They were wild brawls all over the place. The Rock and Roll came up on the short end till they said, we need a third man. They went out and got one of the great professionals of all the wrestling, Double A, Arn Anderson, and the action in this match has got to be unbelievable. Let's take a look at it.
Let's do.
I don't know how to describe this match other than this shit is just wild. It's a bunch of guys in a brawl. It's almost actually too much at times, but it's just it's insane. Did y'all see though at the start when Bobby Eaton is shown climbing the basketball goal with Gibson going after him?
Did you see Gibson fall off the son of a bitch?
It's like, where are you going?
I've got the note. It's at 26:48. Gibson just fell off the damn thing.
Bruh, I'm like, look, I mean, we all have seen ECW, and we've all have seen our share of
Boy,
hardcore
that's in
matches.
my notes. That's in my notes too, pal.
But it's a brawl. I mean, there's like no semblance of rules. It's just,
My note is
I just fast forwarded to the soundbite, not the soundbite, but the clip you're talking about where Gibson falls off. He sure did. I missed that the first time around. But you're right, Doc. It's like, damn, this is insane. Go ahead, Doc. I didn't cut you off.
How is this not a hardcore match? And I'm not saying that as an indictment, because it sounds like you didn't like this too much. I loved it. I thought it was great.
No, I liked it. I liked it. That wasn't my point. My point was, not that I didn't like it. It's just a brawl. I like the fact that when they cut to this thing, it's already a littered mess. It looks like just a confetti on the ground and just trash everywhere. And I was like, why is there a fucking tire in the ring? Harper, what did you think? I mean, you laughed when we talked about the basketball goal, but what did you think?
Yeah, the fucking basketball thing. I was thinking, where are you going? Where are you going?
Bro, you know how it is. It's like it would be like if a bear was chasing you in the woods. And I mean, you can't go anywhere by climbing a tree, but you're sure going to climb the fucking tree because, it's the only escape. It's almost like the same thing. Eaton's climbing the goal. Oh, boy.
And the fire extinguisher.
Hey, at least Double A used it, unlike Horner, who just brought one out.
That's true. Now, Harper, you've talked about the Stud Stable being baby faces, and were they turning? Well, we know they never turn, but did you hear when Dutch got a hold of Cornette midway through the match and the crowd went nuts?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, they might not be heels. I mean, they might not be heels, but they might not be baby faces either. Like, they're like, to me...
Those are called tweeners.
Well, that's what I was about to say. They're like tweeners, and the thing was, they're not baby faces, but people really hated Cornette, and they went nuts, even though Dutch is a member of the stable. So, I don't know. I thought that was cool. Now, right after all that happened, the Studs got eliminated when Golden gets pinned. I'm going to fast forward some more in my notes. Cornette ends up in the ring in the figure 4 towards the end, but with Morton and Gibson distracted, Dr. Tom drops a loaded knee on the onto who is it? Who's on
Gibson.
Gibson drops a loaded knee on a Gibson, and Heavenly Bodies end up winning the brawl. And I really like this. Harper, what did you think about everything that happened that we haven't already talked about?
That shit was great.
A tire in the ring.
And there really wasn't. It's you didn't know who was going to win that shit.
No, you didn't. Not at all. It was very unpredictable.
Yes,
good.
Very fucking unpredictable.
Yep. Doc, what did you have from it?
When Double A's DDT and everybody, that shit was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing guys into tables, Double A was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Tom is low key bloody as hell. I want to say this is the Stud's last match, not last appearance, but last match in Smoky Mountain. Is that true, Mike?
I can't 100% remember. I know we're coming close, bro. We're coming close to them leaving, and it kind of gets depressing for me when they're gone.
Yeah, but we got some new people coming in.
Yeah, we do.
And the one thing that is worth, I think, going back to watch the long term, the full brawl, instead of just the snippets. And it's something that I missed in the snippets, is they made a big deal about bringing Double A in. I wanted to see Double A and Eaton squaring off and Double A get some revenge there, and you didn't get to see it in that part. So that's a minor nit in everything else that's going on.
Yeah. I agree. Harper, anything else from the match?
No, I was just like, man, these people fucking lucky.
Oh,
to see shit like this.
What a card.
What a card. The ring is, Heavenly Bodies win. The ring is littered.
And here's the thing. It's the only reason and exemption that I give for not putting the singles heavyweight title on last is that the ring is now a disaster.
Yeah. And
you got the fire extinguisher shit in the fucking air.
I'm looking at a photo of it, of the very end of it right now on my computer, and there is trash, paper. It looks like the canvas may even be ripped from this angle I'm looking at. There's a tire in the ring. There's the tables. There's wood It's just it's a mess. And yeah, it's just, look, man, they put it out. This is another feud that started. Remember, we started talking about these three teams right after Jackie and Bobby Fulton disappeared. So this is months in the making as well, this build-up. This wasn't an overnight thing either. We're talking in Christmas time of 92 that they started throwing jabs at each other in promos between the Stud Stable and the Heavenly Bodies. So this is a long time in the making too. We're talking about the last feud with, Smothers or Smothers having a belt for a long time, but this feud's been going on for a while as well with these teams. So this was a good, I don't want to call it blow off. This is a good brawl to have at your major event. So, okay, let's do this now. Let's hear from the Stud Stable after the match because they do got to cut a promo. Here it is.
And Pritchard covered him 1, 2, 3. The Heavenly Bodies.
You might have figured we'd go in there and we'd have them all against us. We got Heavenly Bodies. I turn around. I got one of the good-for-nothing rock and roll down. Here comes the other one from behind. I turn around on him. Here comes the other one from behind. Heavenly Bodies all over us. Rock and roll all over us. You figured you're going to get the stable out of it. You're going to prove maybe you're better than the homeboys. Let me promise you something, boys. We're going to see you again. We want the same match. You see we get it. We want all of them in the ring. One more time, Dutch. Jimmy, I'm going to promise you, you think you had a hard time with a stable. You're going to get a hard time. Your belts ain't safe. Your life ain't safe. Ain't nobody beat the stable. Get out of here.
We had a while to sit back and think about what happened at the Bluegrass Brawl right there in Pikeville, Kentucky. But you see, Jimmy Cornette, we have another one of these matches coming up. Anything goes. And we're going to prove to the whole world, Jimmy Cornette, we're going to pull your britches down and show them that you wear pantyhose. But another thing is, if we want somebody to take care of you, Jimmy Cornette, I go out and get Robert's sister. Because we got one thing in our mind. This time we come to the ring, we know and we're prepared for it. You see, when that match was over in Pikeville, Robert, I looked around. There was tires, there was bricks, there was chains, there was 2x4s. Well, you see, this time, bring them on back down there. Because this time we're going to take them away from you and stick them where the sun don't shine. You see, 3 teams in the ring. Anything goes. Wear what you want to. Bring anything you want to. Well, that's fine and dandy with us. Because we're on the road back to the top, Jimmy Cornette, and we don't care what it takes. Rock and roll is here to stay. We're not here to play. So bring it on, baby. Are you ready for a fight? We are, brother. We've been there before, and we know what it's like, baby. Nobody has ever handed us nothing on a silver platter. Everything we got, it took blood, sweat, and tears. And, baby, I'm telling you, Jimmy Cornette, you and your heavenly bodies and the stud stable with Dutch Mantel or without them is not going to stop us.
Okay, so I played, obviously, the rock and roll followed by the stud stable. Doc, what were your thoughts on the promo?
Man, I'm gonna miss the studs. Just the belts are in jeopardy. Your life's in jeopardy. Just hot, belligerent, yelling and screaming and shit talking, and we all kind of like that. And then rock and roll was kind of standard issue. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just I didn't understand why Robert's sister has to get involved. But okay. So.
Okay. Doc, Harper, you? Anything?
Yeah, I was like, this is the second time like Jimmy Golden just sits there and he didn't say a word.
That's true. Well, last week he was kind of winded from the match. I
Right.
gave him a pass on that, but
Well, I mean, this week it was the same thing.
yeah. Well, Dutch didn't say anything either, though. It was just all Robert Fuller here. But he's pissed. This is another prime example of not mattering what he says, but how he said it. Because he's just mad. He wants a rematch. He's pissed off. And Rock and Roll sure ain't backing off the rematch, so they want more. Nothing flashy here, definitely effective if we're talking about a rematch. Now, another promo comes up. Now, here's the thing. So that kind of concludes what was going on with the brawl. Now we're back in Hayside, and Cornette is now, before I go here, at least a recap. Thoughts on the Bluegrass Brawl overall, Doc? I should ask that before we go to Cornette.
I think Harper said it a minute ago when he said these people are lucky, man. What a stacked,
for real, huh?
What a stacked set of action that was, man. I mean, just that nine man tag team was just stacked, and then you got Kevin Sullivan out there, blowing people up. Then you got the actual championship changed hands in an awesome event, and that's just 3 matches on the card.
Right, that's not even the whole thing. We just got the major part of the card. I mean, I've talked to people who on Twitter who went to the card, like people like Dave Lane, and he had tweeted me. He's like, "Man, this is a great card." He's like, "This is one of his favorite times of Smoky Mountain Wrestling." And you're right, man. I don't know what a ticket cost back then to go see Bluegrass Brawl, but I can tell you, man, it looked like it'd have been a lot of fun to go to. I mean, you just had you got Kevin Sullivan on the card. You got Dirty White Boy, Ron Wright, Tracy Smothers, Corny, Stud Stable. All the Heavenly Bodies, Rock and Roll Express, and that's just part of them. It just really, really worth it. So, like you said, Harper, would you say they were lucky?
They were very fucking lucky. I mean, how much was a ticket to that shit? At the most, what, $5-10?
I mean, ringside, would have been may have been a few dollars, but
yeah,
you probably.
But you got to pull out. You got to pull out your hillbilly calculator there and make sure that I mean, $10, I may not even stop and pick it up, right? If I see it on the ground. But for these people, that's a month's income. So
that's nice.
Like I said, I could go there. I'm confident I could go there and just buy the whole front row so I could sit by myself.
Do you always have to play heel? I mean, it's just in your nature.
Moon River.
Fuck.
I'm not playing shit.
They're probably thinking, damn, I'm going to have to go on the side of the highway and get some more fucking cans to pay for this shit.
The only difference between me and you, pal, is that you just stop making fun of the people when the red light comes on.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't. We'll keep it moving since you want to play heel. All right, so we're done with the Bluegrass Brawl. at this point. And now we're back in Hayside where Cornette is about to cut a promo and with Bob Caudle. So here that is.
All right, fans, with me right now, of course, here he is, Mr. Jim Cornette. Last week you were about to explode when we had our Beat the Champ match, Tom Pritchard against Beautiful Bobby.
You see, it's this kind of stuff that makes America these days a crummy country. False advertising everywhere, and all these rednecks are dumb enough to believe it. Now, let me tell you something. I realize that Bob Armstrong, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you, Bob Caudle, everybody's against the heavenly bodies are jealous of success. Hey, that's okay, because I can deal with adversity. I talked to Tom Pritchard right now. I talked to beautiful Bobby Eaton. I've got everything under control. They tell me it's going to be a clean, scientific match. Nobody's going to break the rules. No tempers are going to flare, and we're going to put this thing past us and get it behind us. There are no personality conflicts in the heavenly bodies, and this match will prove it, and I will remain impartial.
All right, fans.
And thanks for stirring things
right
up.
There from the mouth of none other than Jim Cornette. Let's go to the ring.
Cornette had the holding Dutch's sign where Dutch is a genius on it when he said false advertising. That's what he was referring to. Harper, what did you think about the promo?
Fucking classic Cornette.
Yeah, pretty much.
He knew 25 years before somebody else that you could talk wrestling and patriotism to these hillbillies and suck them right in.
Yeah, wow.
I thought, well, he said that's what makes America a crummy country. I thought America was great back in the day. That's what we're going to make it again, right?
Make you great. Yep. Put that
Right.
red hat on.
Right.
Politics
That'll
free
fix,
zone.
That red hat will fix anything.
Politics free zone here, guys. Okay. All right. Anything else, Doc?
Let's go to the goddamn ring.
Yeah, let's go to the ring. So we go to the ring, and it's Dr. Tom versus Bobby Eaton. Bob Caudle says once again, this is going to be a Lulu.
Boy, he sure did.
Dutch says, are they going to come out to the same music? They did.
That was a good question. I was worried about that too, and I got to tell, or wanting to see, and I got to tell you, I'm coming into this real interested to see how they do this.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't write down any timestamps, but what did you think about Horner's commentary?
Why? My exact note is, why is Horner out here with 4 question marks after it?
I guess
And then
I got to do something.
I followed it up as Dutch and Horner palling around is making me sick.
Yeah.
Well-
Really, huh?
You're not sick with Dutch, you're sick with Horner. Let's
No,
make that clear.
because Dutch does the thing where he's like, he plays to whoever's in front of him. That's his stick.
Right.
But Horner was falling for it because his character is a dumbass.
Horner. Unintended heat. Hey, Harper, anything from you on Horner on commentary?
Yeah, it seems like you figured, look, I'm not wrestling or doing anything. I got to get on TV.
He begged Cornette for that spot, probably.
Yeah, he's like, well, fucking just go do commentary.
Oh boy, I did have one note about Horner. Horner said during the match that Cornette doesn't know whether to scratch his watch or wind his butt. Did y'all catch that freaking line?
Yes. I don't care.
And he also stated the heat between these two. So I was like, bro, you can't say shit like that back then.
He did say it. He said it over on an open channel.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the entire match was Dutch and Horner and Bob commenting actually on how awkward this match was. Caudle goes to commercial like with nothing resolved, or at least I remember in my notes, and we see Cornette getting in the ring to mediate between Dr. Tom and Bobby, and then we come back and it's a promo. Because I bumped the local promo from Tracy to the end. Doc, did you have any comments on that part of it at least?
Very confused. I didn't know if they called it a DQ because Corny jumped in the ring when they started punching each other or what, but I could have used an explanation.
Yeah, it was weird the way it ended. Harper, what did you have?
Yeah, I was the same thing. I was like, well, fuck, who won?
Yeah, I don't think they never say I mean, it's just that they go to commercial as Cornette's getting in the ring to mediate between the two. I actually like watched it back. I was like, did I miss him say something? Not watch the whole thing, but the ending, like, did I miss anything? Did I miss them call it? It's just a very, very strange thing. So, that said, let's move on now to when they come back from commercial. It's Cornette and the rest of the Heavenly Bodies, and here's the promo that they cut.
Not a thing you said occurred in that ring. Everything went exactly opposite from what you said it was going to go.
Well, let me tell you something, Bob Caudle. If it did that, that's just because of Bob Armstrong's tampering and you're tampering and the rest of these people around Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Now, I told you guys, quit it. Quit it. He don't owe you no money.
You owe me $1,000. You owe me $1,000.
He don't owe
$1,000. I beat you out there, Bobby. I beat you out there.
I'll give you $1,000.
I don't want yours. I want Bobby's $1,000.
He don't have $1,000. Wait a minute. Would you please? Hey, quit. That's it. Now you got a piece of videotape of what Bob Armstrong's been saying. I want to see it. I want to know exactly what's going on.
All right, fans, let's watch that right here from Commissioner Bob Armstrong.
You know, from the start, everybody's wondered what Jimmy Cornette's trying to pull, forming a corporation, a three-man corporation. Everybody knows 2 and 3 don't make 4. Our attorneys are now ready to stand up in court that say 3 men cannot defend 2 belts. So what we've decided is this, that Jimmy Cornette, all you wanted to do was get yourself a tax dodge to save some of you and your mother's money. Well, it ain't going to work. We're ready to go to court now if you are. You know no judge in this right mind would say 3 men can defend 2 belts. So from now on, what we've decided is the 2 original signees, and I'm talking about Tom Pritchard and Stan Lane, they will be the ones to defend the tag team titles, and only they. And I'll tell you what, I've done some more digging. I heard some rumors this morning about 6:30. I was awakened with a phone call, and a rumor that if it turns out to be fact will shock the wrestling world. I got 6 days to dig, and Bobby Eaton, you'll be very interested in what I may come up with. I'll be back with you next week, Bob.
Say something like that. How can he be saying something like that?
Commissioner Bob Armstrong.
I know who he Commissioner Bob Armstrong. That's like Fathead McGee.
Hey, 1, 2, 3. Only can be 2.
I can't believe for 1 second that Bob Armstrong would rule that Bobby Eaton is not eligible to defend the Smoky Mountain Tag Team title. And I'm sick and tired of this constant interference, this constant tampering. Bob Armstrong, you've done everything you can think of to try to screw us up. You've done everything you can think of to try to stop the Heavenly Bodies of Jim Cornette. You go to court, you get lawyers, you file injunctions, you file papers, you say that we can't defend the titles, all 3 of us. You try to stick Bobby Eaton in some kind of crazy mixed-up match with his own partner for the TV title. You get this guy to draw ringers out of a hat. Let me tell you something, Bob Armstrong, you're treading on thin ice with me, brother. And when I want to do something to somebody, I generally get it done. And as far as the Rock and Roll Express goes, like I've said before, we beat them in street fights, we beat them in every kind of match, and we still can't get them out of here. So we're going to embarrass them. We're going to laugh them out. We're going to make it so humiliating for the Rock and Roll Express, they'll never want to show their face here again. And then I'm going to court. I'm getting my mama's attorneys to get Bobby Eaton reinstated as a member of the Tag Team Champions as well as the Beat the Champ. Tom, I've got to do that. What?
Does this mean that Bob and I are done? We're through?
No. It's just Bob Armstrong saying that he can't be a part of a tag team title defense. It's got to be you guys because your names are on the contract. From now on until I get it reversed. And you need to get out of here. You need to get out of here. We're getting out of here. There are no personality problems in the Heavenly Body.
I can see that. I can certainly understand that. Fans, we'll see you next week. Until
I love Bob Caudle at the end when Jim Cornette says, there are no personality problems with the Heavenly Bodies, and Bob Caudle, I can see that. This was good. This was good. I enjoyed this. Harper, what'd you think about it? It was a lot. I mean, it was almost 4 minutes long. But what were your thoughts?
You know who I loved was Stan.
Mm-hmm.
Because as he says that, Bobby Eaton can't be a part of this. Stan goes from standing by Bobby Eaton, and then he goes to stand by Dr. Tom, and he looks at Bobby, and he mouths to him, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." And it's almost like he's the girl, and Bob and Dr. Tom, they're the 2 guys fighting over the girl.
My note is that Stan's standing over there looking at Bobby like he's his ex-girlfriend with big tits, and he's feeling bad about what he's had to do.
Yeah. I caught that too. That was good. That was good. Harper, what else?
Fucks. I couldn't stop watching Stan. That shit was hilarious.
It was.
It's like, I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, man. Stan, if you go back and watch some of the older ones too, whenever Stan's not talking and he's off, I don't say off camera, but off of like the, he's not the one talking. He's just over on the side. Like he did that thing with Bobby, where he took Bobby's check and tried to stuff it.
Here's the thing. You know what Stan is? Stan, youth sports. Let me bring this up. One of the hardest things you can get a little kid to do is move without the ball, right? If they don't have the ball, they don't know what to do, and it's a skill you acquire. Stan Lane can move without the ball. He doesn't, and in basketball terms, he doesn't need the ball to score.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, especially the 2 weeks ago when he hit the check in his jacket.
That's the mark of a true professional.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't need the ball to score. I agree.
He stole that son of a bitch, and he didn't say a word on a microphone.
Yeah, and Bobby was like, "Wait, my check," and Stan's like, "Huh?" And then he goes, "Okay, you got me." And he pulls his check out.
Dr. Tom's like, "I don't want his money, your money. I want his money." And Corny goes, "Bobby doesn't have $1,000." It's like, why are you calling Bobby?
This was so good. Like, I'm telling you, he's like a parent trying to manage a bunch of bad kids at a goddamn nursery. We haven't even talked about this yet. What about Bob Armstrong in front of the green screen with the star graphic laid behind him?
Well, I was going to say that backdrop had me seeing stars.
God.
Good Lord. What was with that?
That was awful.
That reminded me of like when you go to like your fucking homecoming dance and you take that fucking picture with your girlfriend. That's what that shit fucking look like.
I just was like, what the hell is this, man? Okay. Anything else from y'all on that front?
I mean, I want to see what Bob Armstrong has for us in 6 days. It took him 6 months to figure out Kevin Sullivan's, and then he still has to pay for the therapy. So you'll forgive me if I'm not too confident that he's going to super sleuth this thing to conclusion in the next 6 days, but I'm willing to go with him on it.
Okay. Yeah, same here. All right. I'm going to play. Oh, did y'all want to do the Smothers promo? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got to go back and do Dirty White Boy, don't I?
Right.
You have to go back and do Dirty White Boy. I wouldn't do the other local. They're not all that great.
Okay. Let's cue up Dirty White Boy right now, because I totally forgot about that part. So here that is.
Defending against the Dirty White Boy in Barberville, it's a Tennessee chain match coming up in Barberville.
You know, I heard that Tracy Smothers made a few comments that in Barberville, after his match, he was going to go out and watch a Rock and Roll Express take care of business. Well, Smothers, what makes you think for 1 minute that you're going to be able to walk out and sit down and watch that match? Oh, yeah, it's true. You know, you go out to all these bars on your big victory. You took a belt out. You let the waitresses carry it around. They shine it up for you. Well, brother, while you was out at the bars having a good time, down a few cold ones, the White Boy and Ron Wright done shacked up in a room someplace, and we put our minds to work, baby. We put our minds to work to find out how we can destroy you and get my belt back.
So that's the reason I didn't play it before his match with Tracy earlier in the episode, because he lost. That's it. Doc, what did you think about it?
It's good. I mean, he's not going to rest till he gets what's his back. Because it means something.
And I guess the groundwork is laid there that their feud isn't over either.
Yeah,
Harper,
he sounds like a face.
A little bit, because he does.
Like, you know, you're sitting in a bar, getting drunk, hanging out with the barmaid, showing off your belt. We're fucking grinding, to find a way to get the fucking belt back, or to keep it. He was still a champion. Oh, okay. And so he's fucking hustling to get the belt back, and you know he's off getting drunk and shit. So
yep.
It sounded more face-ish.
Yeah, I think the main thing too is it appears it's not over. That's the other part.
Yes.
It appears it's not over. So okay, Doc, what let's do some disability checks. What'd you give it?
I went first last week.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
I ain't going first this week.
Okay, well, I guess he is.
Because I don't have, you're just like I don't have any faith that Bob Armstrong's going to figure out the deal. I don't have any faith that you're going to correctly rate this episode. So I want you to go first so that I can correct it on the way out.
No, I think first off, this was solid.
Yeah,
this was really, really solid. There's a couple low points. I mean, Night Stalker's promo was like, and then there's the match between Pritchard and Eaton that's like, what the hell was that? But because there was it wasn't clear on what actually happened. But I'm going 8.75 on it. Hello,
all right,
Doc.
What?
I'm going 8.75. What are you going?
What are you doing, Harper?
I'm going to do an 8.5. It would have been a 9 if we could see the whole matches and not just a recap. But I'm going with an 8.5.
Well, I'm not sure what's wrong with either one of you two fucking idiots. 9.1.
The only reason he went 9.1, Harper, is because you and I went first, and I did 8.75 and 8.5. He actually had probably 8.5 or 8.75, and the only reason he's going 9.1 is to be ornery, because that's just fucking what he does.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and he knows I'm right, and that's why he's being quiet. I guarantee you it's what he had it as.
9.1, pal. This was decided last night when I finished the episode.
No, I don't believe it. That's bullshit, and you know it, and I know it. It's complete bullshit. I believe that you gave this a 9.
Way to try to get yourself over instead of the card that we just watched, as we just culminated months and months of angles in a very entertaining fashion. And you come out here and try to get yourself over by trying to prove to everybody how smart you are when you're really not.
I believe that you gave this a 9.1 last night, as much as I believe that Kerry Von Erich was not higher than Giraffe Pussy when we did that world-class review show on the Patreon.
You're mixing angles here. Well, you should have just, if you were going to say that, you should have said it as much as that Primetime Brian Lee rolled a 6 on his dice, you dumb motherfucker.
Nice.
But, well, no, because Kerry was so fucking high, I had to go there.
Why didn't you get off my... Well, here's an idea. Why don't you get off my ass and start begging get down on your knees and start begging these people for the money before we give out the government cheese?
Well, you're the one that likes to suck dick, so I don't know why you're getting on me.
What?
Yeah, what? Huh? What? Jesus Christ. Yeah, go ahead and sign up and become a patron. tinyurl.com/BTC patron. Great way to support the show on an ongoing basis. Get access to the patron-only shows, all that good stuff. So I appreciate that. All the patrons out there, especially the BTT Hall of Famers, hashtag BTT Army, and the Docaholics, because Doc is, let me tell you, Doc's full of himself these days. We got some patrons out there that are Docaholics, and Doc is really, really full of himself. So there's a hashtag going around, Doc. It's hashtag Docaholic. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. You need to get on Twitter. You need to start trolling from your wife's account like you always do.
What's the website? What's the website for Twitter?
Just get your wife's phone like you always do. You know the drill. And have her pull it up.
I got locked out.
Okay. No, you didn't.
She changed the password.
All of Fame patrons at JShiny21, at Natural Hacksaw, at Thin Man Within, Slider91 US, Justin Rasmussen, at ShipDaddy32, at USC 49er Dodger, at Gerald Green III, at T-Hog94, at SV Pajam, at Martin House 71, at Timorechi, Coleman822, at Godbold Unreal, and at Unconvinced Ray. Thanks for being Hall of Famers. Everyone else, I want to thank you all as well. Thank you for being patrons. Thank you for supporting the show. Great way to support the show. Look, you get 8 free shows a month from us. 8 free ones. Come check out what we got on the Patreon side. There's loads of them up there at this point. Again, it's tinyurl.com/BTCpatron. Okay, let's do the government cheese. This is tough because there's, to me, a couple of contenders, but it's really hard not to give it to Smothers and Dirty White Boy, in my opinion. So I think that's where I'm going to go with this one. Doc, you.
This is very, very difficult.
Very,
you got
very hard.
Arn Anderson in a big card. You got the studs. You got the whole skit with the Heavenly Bodies, and they won the 9-man thing.
Right.
Corning was everywhere. Just a lot of stuff going on. Lance Russell made his first appearance and was in the booth. I gave him a lot of consideration, especially since Tom Wise, he passed away this week. But the goddamn title, the strap changed hands, and we got a new champion, so Tracy Smothers gets the cheese.
Agree. Harper, what do you think?
Yeah, this was hard with that finish with Dirty White Boy and Tracy, and I'm giving mine a stand for fucking popping me during that promo. That shit was hilarious.
You should go up to Tracy next time you see him at Wildcat and say, "Brother, you just won the government cheese on my podcast." He'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?"
I almost said something. Never mind.
Say it.
Yeah, why you got to be a
something
puss
you
all
told
the
me
time?
that. It's something that Harper told me, and then he said, "Don't say it on air." Last time we were talking, so I can't say it. Shit.
Don't be a pussy all your life.
No, it was something that happened with.
Oh, you do want to be a pussy all your life. I get it.
It was something that happened with Tracy when Tracy pulled up the Wildcat the last time. He worked. You see, I can't say it. He's not gonna let me. And he's laughing because he knows it's absolutely crazy. But no, this was a real good episode, man. Easily, Doc gave it 9.1. I gave it 8.75. Harper gave it 8.5. So really, really good stuff. And Harper, I wouldn't have thought about Stan, but you're right. Stan's nonverbals were very, very good. Very, very. That was some really good shit. Really good shit. Okay, guys, so like I always say, use the Amazon referral link. It's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. We'd appreciate it. It's a great way to support the show on not only an ongoing basis, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. Check us out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/bookintheterritory. If you click the Shop Now button, you can get to the Pro Wrestling Tees store. And then on Twitter, at BTT_podcast. I'm at Mike504Saints, and Hardbody Harper is at CJH Whodat. Doc, what did you say last week about the 5-star reviews, man? What were you recommending? I shut it down, but it might be good to mention again.
Oh, I was just saying, if you want to get into the Hall of Fame or get a T-shirt or a swag bag or a or a hand job or whatever from Mike, maybe if you have some computer hacking or skills, maybe you create a bot that goes in and just, I don't know, puts in 250,000 5-star reviews. I don't know. I mean, we'll say allegedly every time we mention your greatness, and I don't think it would make us different than some wrestling podcast out there.
That's nice.
That's nice, Doc. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. So anyway, hey, check out my friends, the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing with the Kingpin Brian Malonis and Mike Crockett on Mondays and Thursdays. Just search WPAM wherever you get your podcast from. They're doing a lot more talking about classic wrestling as well. So give them a look.
Thieves.
See what you think.
Thieves.
Playing heel, as usual, playing heel. And that's it. That's all I got. Doc, you got anything else?
Nope.
Harper, you got anything else?
No, sir.
No, sir? Are you sure about that?
Yep.
Yeah, I say.
Baby's got a pot roast on.
All right, Harper, hit the tagline and get us out of here.
Book it, bitch.